So over the last 48 hours, I have moved hundreds, literally hundreds of videos away from our old online learning platform into a new one, ThriveCart Learn, and I'm enjoying the experience. And over, I keep hearing in Facebook groups questions about hosting their files because most people are expecting their online course platform to host files. In this video, I want to walk you through my experience and give you a full walkthrough of bunny.net and explain to you why I think bunny.net is the absolute no-brainer solution when it comes to hosting all your files outside of your website. So we're talking about your PDF downloads, we're talking about your videos, we're talking about any big file that's important to you that you want to use for your premium products and services. I'll give you a full walkthrough here in this video. All right. And if you're launching your online course and you want more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and like and do all that fun stuff. And let me know down in the comments below, where are you hosting your online courses and where are you hosting your media, like your videos right now? I'm curious to know so I can do more research and provide you guys more value. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to show you bunny.net today. This is a platform that I am so impressed with. And if you don't know what CDN is, because I'll be using some technical terms, I'll try to, explain them as I'm going through, but a CDN is a content delivery network. This is how YouTube and everything that delivers a bunch of content gets it to you reliably. So the way it works is they have POPs, points of presence. They have basically computers all around the world, a whole network of computers. And wherever you log in to watch the course from, it's going to serve you that content from the nearest possible location. All right. So that's how this all works. It's not just for videos. It's not just for files. It can do anything. And it actually gives you some recommendations as you're working through setting it up the right way. All right. Really, the reason why this is special compared to anything else out there is certainly their pricing. So let's go ahead and just take a look at this because you may be familiar with Vimeo, with Wistia, with Searchy. There's a lot of different video hosts out there, but the rub is always in like, is it going to make sense for you to use? And this is insane. This is orders of magnitudes cheaper than what we're accustomed to using. All right. So when it comes to video, you're going to be using the Volume Network. And this is incredibly affordable. So the way it works, and let's just assume you're doing less than 500 terabytes. And what this means is how much of your video people are watching. If people are watching a gigabyte of a video and they watch it all the way to the end, that's going to spend a gig in your bandwidth here, right? And so it shows you it's less than a penny, it's half a penny per gigabyte of viewing your content. So this isn't one of those, you spend a monthly bill, and whether you have nobody on your course or you have thousands of people on your course, you're paying the same monthly bill. This is actually a very fair pricing per usage. So that's how they can keep it affordable. It's really, really well done. And if this doesn't make sense to you, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the options down here. I think they have an estimate tool here. And I'll show you my real account as well with what we are currently paying. It is, it's laughable. It's fantastic. So estimating your monthly bill. If you are using 300 gigs of data, which that's a pretty good amount of video content being watched, you're going to be paying $1.75 per month for that amount of content being used. That's insane, right? So it's great from both a pricing side, but also from actual quality of delivery. I'll show you both some of our courses and how quickly the players load, as well as the back end and all the options and the privacy protection. It has everything you really should want or need all built into this one platform. All right, let's go ahead and I'll log into my account here. And when you come in, it'll give you a few different places to go. The two places I check out is the storage. This is where I keep my files, and the stream, which is where I keep my videos. All right, I'll go ahead and show you how both of these work. If you're having an online course with some downloads, we can go ahead and start out with the storage section. All right, I'll click over here. And you can set things up like file folders like you would on your computer. So let's go ahead and do one together here. I'll add a storage zone. And let's just call this one Freedom by Number, which is one of our brands. And then when it comes to setting up where these files are actually stored, as I mentioned, this is a CDN. So there's a network of computers, but they do have a central main storage. This is like where you upload your file to originally, and then it can be moved across the world as you want it to. They default to Europe, which is Falkenstein. I believe that's the headquarters of the company. So Falkenstein is where our first file is going to go. But then from there, you can do what's called geo replication. this basically says it's going to put your files here, but then it's going to share them over to different locations. And so here you can choose, US New York, US West, Los Angeles. I'm on the East Coast, so I'll do US East. And this is going to add 2 pennies per gigabyte in your storage. So I'm not going to worry about that, right? 2 pennies is not going to break the bank. And I do like the idea of having that redundancy in the content being in 2 different locations. It also is going to be better for my students or any of my customers, since we are a US based operation. I want to make sure the files are being served very quickly to US customers. So I'll say add that storage zone, and the bunny will hop along the screen there. All right. And there we go. Now we have that folder that we can continue to, like you would on any computer, add a directory inside of it. So we might call this one freebies, add that guy, maybe add another one here for course attachments. And now if I want to, I can just add some files by clicking into where I want to go and drag a file in there. Let me go ahead and find a file that we can play with together. All right, so I've found a PDF we can use as an example. I'll drag this over and just drop it in, and it'll upload the file just like that. And now if you wanted to share this inside of your course, if you're using something like a ThriveCart Learn, all you have to do is right click on it, and you can copy that URL, and it's going to warn me that I need to add a pull zone. So let's do that right now. I'll click on add a pull zone, and then let's go ahead and set up FBN. I think that'll work. And you get to choose how you want the files to be sent. Okay. Now this is what the 2 parts of the pricing. There's the storage pricing, and that's what we set up the first time. And now this is the kind of the transmission pricing, how much you want to pay for, like, basically the quality of the service of the streaming, of getting it to your customers, right? So there's 2 different tiers, the standard tier and the high volume tier. So standard tier is going to be on stuff that you want to get there fast. You don't want to wait at all. This would be for, if you have like a website CDN where you deliver maybe your images and your static files from a CDN, and then all your text and all your blog post stuff from your WordPress website, that's what you want to use. In this case, because I'm not planning on using a ton of bandwidth for my PDF files, let's go ahead and use standard. That is $10 per terabyte, and high volume is $5 per terabyte. So you're going to pay double. But first of all, $10 per terabyte, that doesn't even make sense. So let's take a look at this, how it really is here. It is it's 1 penny per gigabyte. So you figure if you have a pretty big PDF, it might be 2 megabytes, 10 megabytes, maybe. It would be hundreds of those, thousands of those probably, before you even get to a few dollars in price there. So there's certainly nothing to be worried about. I'm going to go ahead and turn off these additional areas and just deliver it to, have a pull zone from Europe and North America for 1 penny per gig. And I'll say add pull zone. Oh, I need to add more stuff. FBN documents, and I'll add the pull zone. And there we go. You're almost there. And now it's going to ask me if I want to integrate this. So for example, if I wanted to send all my WordPress files and use this as a CDN, that's an option. I'm not going to do that here. This is a bit more on just delivering files to your online course, but this can also be a fantastic CDN to speed up your entire website and get better page speed scores. But that's a topic for another video. All right, so I'll skip over this. We are good. Don't need any of that yet. Skip that. And here we go. So now let's go back to our storage. And let me show you how we can take that file we just made and add it to our course so people can download it. I'll go to course attachments, and I'll copy the URL. And let's go ahead and go into ThriveCart as an example service just to show you how it looks once they're added in. Okay, so I'm here inside of a ThriveCart course. I'm just going to go and click on edit on one of my lessons, and let's just tell them download your file below. And I'll add a button right here that'll say download now. Okay. And now the link to that button, I'm going to come over here and just paste in, and that's going to give me the PDF directly linked there. And let's take a look at how that appears. Okay, so we're here on the front end, how the students would experience it. I'll click on the download now button, and it'll just quickly pull up, no loading at all, perfectly fine. the PDF that they can download and do with what they please. All right. So that's on the file delivery side. Let's also talk about probably what you're more interested in, the video posting and some of the features there. Okay. We're going to come back here into Bunny, and let's go into Stream. And similarly, let's create a new video library here. So I'll click on New Video Library because I want you to see the setup process as well. And we're going to call this Freedom by Number. And now similarly, we get to choose how much we want to pay, basically how much redundancy we want here. And what's kind of nice is they actually will highlight the areas you're using. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing where I'll have US East and the original Falkenstein. I don't think there's going to be too much of a problem if I don't include the LA. But as I look at this, it's the difference between 3 cents per gig and 5 cents per gig. I'm going to go ahead and splurge, and let's go ahead and pay 5 cents per gig and have a better experience for our users. I think that's just kind, isn't it? So we'll go ahead and add the video library here. All right. And now I can come into this video library that was built. And now that we're here inside of our media gallery, it's super easy to add our first video. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add a video in, and then we'll start to customize the player, show you how quickly it encodes and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive in here. We'll go to upload videos, and I'll give you a little drag and dropper. And I'll take a small video now just because I don't want to take too much time here. This video is 30 megabytes. So you can see how quickly it's uploading, and then it's going to process right here. As soon as it's done processing, we'll be able to embed it into our course. So while that's doing its thing and processing, let's take a look at some of the player options here. So underneath the player options, you have your primary player control or color. So let's go ahead and find a brand color we can use here for this player. So we're here just going to grab a little hex code from a website we're currently building out, and then we'll pop back into the library and just paste that in. And there we go. Slight change there, but it's different. And then you can also, this is pretty cool. You can add your own CSS rules, your own customization code to make the player look however you want to. That's a bit above my pay grade, and I don't really care for that, but that's a great option they include there. And what you are probably interested in here is all the player controls. So play, pause, a big button or a small button, settings, volume, picture in picture. That's really cool. Captions, showing the current time, the duration of the video, a button to go 10 seconds backwards, 10 seconds forwards, their progress bar, and the full screen. That's a lot of good options there. So we'll go ahead and keep all those on. I'll probably turn some off over time, but let's see what they all look like. Next is the advertising tag. So vast tag URL. I don't know what that is, but it looks like it's a way for you to monetize your own videos instead of, people are always used to using YouTube as the monetization platform for videos. Looks like this is maybe an alternative where it's your own host, your own video content. Pretty interesting. Not really my goal. And if you're doing this for an online course, probably not your goal either. Underneath the encoding side, this is pretty interesting. So keep original files. This is going to be kind of additional redundancy. If you upload a file, for example, we're encoding a file right now. The file itself is not really going to be used to be served to our audience. They're going to use all these transcoded, optimized, fancy stuff, media files that are created inside the Bunny platform. So if you wanted to save a penny every year, maybe you can uncheck this and not keep the original files, but I'll go ahead and keep them. If my bill gets above $5 a month, maybe I'll consider turning that off, but I think that just makes sense. Oh, this is pretty cool. Enable early play. If enabled, compatible videos would be allowed to play from the original file before the transcoding has been finished. This will publicly expose the original video files. I say that's cool because one of the challenges that I've had is I'll upload videos and it takes a while for them to encode, so I can't use them yet. That actually might speed it up for me. So if you are in a huge rush and you want to get your video up and ready to go, that one is a pretty useful feature. And then enable MP4 fallback. Let's see, this will slightly increase the encoding time and storage, but provide compatibility for older devices that do not support HLS streaming. That's an interesting one. It allows you to not play their privacy, HLS is the privacy standard for videos these days, and that's how Bunny is using it. I would think that I would not want MP4 fallbacks. That might put your videos at risk of people being able to find the MP4 video, but I've tried and I can't find it. So I think it's okay as it is here. I'm not really an expert on all these. I'm just a guy who's using the platform, so I could be wrong on some of this. And then you get to choose the different options of what video files and formats people need to use. I have personally heard some of our students say they wish there were lower video qualities available because they're in areas that had low bandwidth. So maybe we'll keep 360, 480, 720, and well, let's do 360, then 720 and 480. I feel like if they're in low res, just go all low res. And then if you're in HD, you're good there. And then upload watermark. This is a pretty cool feature. Let me go ahead and find a watermark for you here. All right. So just find a little blue watermark there. And when we upload it, where is it here? I think it's over here. There you are. You can actually see a little graphic of a video player, and you can place your watermark wherever you want it to go. This is really fun. Okay, let's leave that on and test it out. I don't have this turned on yet, but that's a pretty cool feature where even if somebody does take your stuff, it has your brand on it. So they at least know where the source was, if that's any consolation. All right, cool stuff. Let's move on to the pricing side. And we see here, we're on the high volume tier. I would keep that there. I would not want to pay double for video. I don't think it's necessary. All right, security. This is the one that's be interesting for most people. Media Cage Basic DRM. Smart, clear key-based DRM system dynamically encrypts your video files to protect against unwanted downloads of your content. If enabled, your videos will only be playable through the embed view. MP4 fallback and early play options will be disabled. It's interesting. I think that's what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and click that and turn that on. And, part of this is me learning along as well. I don't have all the answers here. Leave a comment down below if you see anything that I'm setting up incorrectly. Hey, let's help each other out. All right, moving on. Enable direct play. Enables video playback in the browser using the direct video URL. Anyone with URL will be able to watch the video. I don't think I want that. Yeah, I don't want that. Turn that off. I want this to only be embeddable and viewable through the embed. That's the highest level of protection I think you can get. And then this is pretty cool as well, where you can specify certain URLs, certain domains where the videos won't be playable outside that domain. So if somebody grabs the JavaScript for the embed code and tries to embed it on their own website and play it off as their own video, it won't work. That's pretty cool. I'm not going to mess with that right now. If I feel the need to do that, we might, but I don't think that's really necessary right now. And then embed view token. All right. All kinds of stuff that gets techier and techier the further you scroll down. I think we're good there. Storage, you can see what the storage options are. And one thing to take note of here is once enabled, replication zones cannot be removed. So if you checked them all and you decide you're going to, go hog wild and replicate all over the place, you can't unreplicate. You have to create a new media library, a new video library, and go from there. All right, I think that's enough of the settings. Let's go ahead and take a look at our video that's up here. And we can click in here and see all the different settings. You see our branding colors are set up nicely. You can choose very much like YouTube. You can choose very much like YouTube where the thumbnail is. So if you want the thumbnail to be here or here, it'll update it dynamically right there. Very, very nice. If you have captions from some other software, you can add captions in just by uploading the file. Say, hey, this is going to be an English caption, and you select the file. I've already done that on a video or two to test the functionality. It works perfectly well. And then you got the ID, all this good stuff. But what we want here is the embed code. So I want this to be responsive, definitely. But I don't like autoplay videos. I'm not a huge fan of them, so I'll turn that off. And I'm not entirely sure what preload is. I imagine that means that it's going to load the video before you hit the play button. And I don't want to do that because, hey, we are paying for the bandwidth. And if they're not going to watch the video, I don't want to load it. So I'll take that code and copy it. We'll come over to ThriveCart. And let's go back into the same lesson we were editing before, where we added the file in. And now you can either add a video block or just an HTML block. It does the same thing. And I'll paste it in. And let's blow this up to full size. And I'll publish this lesson. All right. And let's take a look at it on the front end. So now the video loads up just about instantly, no worries at all. And it plays. Fantastic. I can come over here and change the play speed. And it goes faster. Full screen is there. Everything you'd want, speed up, go back, speed up. And then if I had captions enabled, I would be able to see those captions. And here you go. You can also change all the qualities right there. So, the big challenge you have with things like YouTube videos is being able to right click and download the video. I'm right clicking, nothing happens. If I try to, if I were to try to get that video, it would be really tricky. I would have to just put it on play and screen record it, which is not many people are going to go through that hassle. And, I'm not going to worry about the people who do. So that is a pretty fantastic system there. So let me give you some real world kind of statistics of where we are at and kind of show you how this pricing all works. I'm going to go to the billing section here. And literally in the month of October, we have earned a grand total of 11 cents of our bill with bunny.net. It's phenomenal. And you can see where the cost comes from and how much bandwidth you're using. So there's really no reason not to use this software. It doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. It's easy to use once you get it set up. Now it's just dragging and dropping videos and embedding wherever you want, and they're secure. So I hope this is helpful. If you enjoyed this and you want to give Bunny a try, just go ahead and use the link that's down below. I think it's my referral link, but as you can see, the service is so cheap, there's not much profit in it for me. I just honestly think this is a better option than Vimeo and Wistia and some of those other options that are out there. So if this is helpful, please let me know by leaving a like and leaving a comment on what you enjoy about the Bunny platform or what course platform you're really enjoying right now. I'd love to hear it. We love launching courses and just doing that stuff. It's kind of our jam. So hope this video is helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.